Hi everyone, my name is Deborah and this is the Edit by DH. Today's video is all about Mrs. VB. So Victoria Beckham, you know I love Victoria Beckham. So when I heard that she was bringing out this matte bronzing brick, my first thought was why? Because let's face it, I don't need another bronzer. Wayne Goss came along and I thought, okay, we'll give Wayne Goss a try because I know that he does some fantastic products. And after Wayne Goss, I said, no more bronzers. And then suddenly Victoria drops that she is doing a bronzer. So hopefully this is my last bronzer. So as you guys may or may not know, Victoria Beckham released her matte bronzing brick. There are 5 shades in total. It's £52 for 9.6 grams of product. So as per usual, it's in her classic Victoria Beckham case and packaging, and let's face it guys, it's absolutely stunning. It looks amazing on your makeup table. You'd be proud to get it out your handbag. It's so luxurious. Also, there's that weightiness to it, which you guys know I love, with the gold hardware. So that's what it looks like, and it's a lot bigger than most of her makeup products. As you know, her makeup products are quite dinky usually, even her eyeshadow. So this is a nice surprise. You just push the button to release inside. So it comes with a plastic covering, it comes with a mirror, and this is shade 01. So it's the lightest shade. So even though it's called the matte bronzing brick, it is a bronzing and contour duo. The lighter shade here, I think, is a bronzer, and that is Warm Dusk. And then this is a contour shade, and it's called Sunkissed. It says 01 is a light amber duo for fair to light skin tones. 02 is a warm tan duo for light to medium skin tones. Number 3 is a golden tan duo for medium skin tones. Number 4 is a golden brown duo for dark to deep skin tones. And then finally number 5 is a deep amber duo for deep to rich skin tones. So just wanted to let you know what other shades there were, but obviously I only got 01, which is a match for my skin tone. So I will be applying that and swatching that for you in just a moment. I just wanted to quickly cover what I have on my face already. So I already have a base on, nothing else, just a foundation, and it's a combination of the Dior Glow foundation, I think it is, but I'll pop the name above, and also the 𝕕𝕚𝕓𝕐 soft powder foundation. In terms of the rest of my makeup, I try to keep it as VB as possible. So with my eyes, it's all VB. So I am wearing the Smoky eye brick in the color Tweed. So that's like the base shadow, and it's a mix of all the colors, to be honest with you, but I did a subtle wash of the 4 colors. So that's my main base eyeshadow. Then as my spotlight, you can see it reflecting in the light. That is a little bit of the lid luster in shade Blonde, the lightest. Then to line my eyes, I used the Satin Kajal liner in color Cocoa, just to line my eyes and give it a little bit more definition, and then ended with the Victoria Beckham mascara. On my lips, I have the Posh lipstick in the shade Pout, which I absolutely love. It's got a sheen to it. It's not a matte lipstick, but it's a perfect everyday lip color. Now, I deliberately left the rest of my face bare because I wanted to do this first before just finishing off with some blush and highlighter. So I'm just going to swatch it for you first. So that's a bronzer colour on my hand, and that's a contour shade on my hand. Now I know that it looks very, very light, but I think on the face it will look different. I hope. I think it will do the job on my face. And by the way, when I was swatching it, the powder felt very creamy. So I'm going to apply the bronzer using the Bobbi Brown angled face brush. So I'm just going to tap into the product and dust off. So I don't know if you guys can tell the difference. I only have it on this side and not this side. The natural light is hopefully really helping you guys to see it. So this side with bronzer, this side without. Now when I look straight on, I personally can see a difference, but I don't know if you guys can. Now, some of you, I don't know if you really like your bronzer to look like bronzer and you want to look super duper tanned, like you've been sunbathing on a yacht in the south of France. With me, I like looking bronzed, but sometimes what I find is obviously with your foundation, you're trying to match your natural, not only your skin on your face, but trying to match your neck as well, right? And then what I find is that when I apply the bronzer, I end up being really tanned here and then really pale here. So obviously you can then take your bronzer to your body if you want to, but it's an extra like step and hassle, right? So this sort of bronzer I actually really love because it gives you just enough warmth without making it really obvious that you're wearing makeup. So I'm just going to balance it out by going on the other side. And I'm just sort of doing a sweeping motion and almost smiling just to hug the curves of my cheek. I mean, I have really big cheeks, guys. Like, I sometimes feel like a human hamster, as if I'm storing food in my cheeks, which I wish. I love food. But yeah, you can definitely see that it's just given me a bit of oomph to my skin, and it's given me a really, really natural glow. Then for the contour, I'm going to go in with the Nars Kabuki Ita brush, which is like the perfect shape to just contour. You guys have seen me use this brush before. So I'm going to go into the contour shade, which I believe is called Sunkissed. So I've just applied the contour. Now you can definitely see both in real life and on camera that my face is a little bit more sculpted. I went in, tried to tackle my triple chin, and you can definitely see that it has had an effect. Now, before I give you my final thoughts on it, I just want to go in and complete the look. So I'll just quickly apply some blush and some highlighter, and then let's have a chat. For my blush, I'm using the Hermes Rose Plume blush. I absolutely love the colour, so if you would like to see that review, I will link it down below. And then lastly, I'm just going to apply my Dior Sun Dune highlighter, or I think it's like Nude Skin Luminizer in the colour Pink Dune. Let's just read a little bit more about this product, and then I'll go into my final thoughts. So on the Victoria Beckham website, it says that this skin-loving bronzer features 2 soft matte tones, so you can customize your bronzer for the most natural, sun-kissed skin. It blends seamlessly, wears effortlessly, and is impossible to overdo. So I do agree with the fact that you can customize your bronzer, because even though technically it's a bronzer and a contour, I think if you aren't into that subtle look, then you could most definitely mix the 2 shades together, or you could even go in with this and really look bronzed like you've been on holiday for 3 weeks in Barbados. So definitely you can mix and match it, customize it to however you want. So it says it's a bronzing powder duo in a soft matte, shimmer-free, soft focus finish. The talc-free formula provides streak-free application and lasting wear. So Victoria Beckham herself said, "I've always been obsessed with a bronze look, and for me the right shades, yes, I said shades, are key for a truly believable warmth year round, as if the sun has just kissed your skin. It's a trick I learned spending years on set and on stage. With its duo of complementary shades, I'm able to effortlessly define my angles and customize my glow for all seasons." As I did, on the website it recommends to use the first shade to lightly go across the face where the sun naturally hits, so like your cheeks, your forehead, your nose and your chin. And then it says to use the second shade to sculpt under the cheekbones and jawline and along the temples for added definition. In addition to bronzing your face, it says you can sweep a touch of colour across the eyelids, the collarbones and shoulders to extend your bronze. So it is a refillable design, which I didn't know, and I wonder if that's the same for her eyeshadow. I'll look into it. So it says that the matte bronzing bricks ultra slim keepsake brass compact is plastic free and refillable. The refill arrives in 100% post-consumer recycled and recyclable materials. Once the powder is finished, simply remove the pan and replace with your refill. I think you'll have to go in here where there's a little gap to just pop it out. So it says, unlike old-fashioned bronzer formulas, matte bronzing brick does not contain filler ingredients such as petroleum or coal-derived waxes, PEGs, synthetic fragrance, EDTA, questionable preservatives, or allergens. It's infused with natural oils and butters. It includes moringa oil, which penetrates deeply into the skin, delivering vital nutrients and antioxidants. It contains cocoa butter, which moisturizes, conditions, and provides antioxidants as well. And soft focus powder complex, which is a blend of organic amino acid and smooth synthetic powders. And that's what gives it the silky touch and the smoothing effect. So what do I think? I personally think, packaging wise, you know I love the Victoria Beckham packaging. It just feels and looks expensive, and like I said, it's something that you would be so proud to just keep on your makeup table, in your handbag, and even the click is so satisfying. So the bronzer shade, the first one, I love it, and as you guys know earlier, I said it, that it's I think my new favorite bronzer. I just love the subtleness of it, and it doesn't look like I've tried too hard by applying loads of bronzer. I sometimes feel like as long as you get the placement right, you can still achieve a very warm, sun-kissed, sculpted look, and I think that this palette definitely helps you to achieve that. The only thing I will say about the contour is, if you want sculpting, and I've mentioned this quite a few times in other videos, it has to mimic shadow. Now with this shade, there is a lot of warmth to it, so I found that when I was applying it, there was almost like an orangey, warm golden undertone to it, which is perfect for bronzing. It doesn't help contouring because no contour, no shadows are naturally warm. They're more cool tone. I still think it's a really gorgeous bronzing palette. I just wish that if they had got this shade right and nailed it, it would have been the perfect palette, seriously. I need my contour to be a little bit more of a shadowy tone, and I think if I were to compare it to, say, the Holy Grail Kevyn Aucoin, the sculpting powder in light, you will know what I mean. In fact, I'm going to swatch it for you now. So as you guys can see, this is the VB contour and this is the Kevyn Aucoin contour. I haven't compared it until now. I'm doing it for you guys on camera for the first time. Can you see how orange her contour looks versus the Kevyn Aucoin? And they're both in the lightest shade category, and they're both for like light to fair skin tones, so you can see the difference and how cool that is versus that. But when you're doing something contouring wise, you want a cool shade. And just whilst we're on the point of comparing, I thought I would compare the Victoria Beckham duo to the Wayne Goss duo. Now, the most obvious comparison is going to be the price and the weight. So with Victoria Beckham, it is £52 for 9.6 grams, and with the Wayne Goss, it's $45 for 16.5 grams. So not only is the Wayne Goss cheaper in terms of the physical price, but there is almost double the amount of product in it as well. Obviously, packaging wise, the Wayne Goss one is perfectly fine and it's quite a high standard, but it does not compare to Victoria Beckham's packaging. So packaging wise, she wins. Now, if I compare them both side by side, you can see this is a duo as well. And again, it has that bronzer and contour duo. This is also a powder. And what I will do is swatch both palettes for you. So this is the Victoria Beckham, as you guys have seen. That's the bronzer, that's the contour. With the Wayne Goss, it is also, for your information, the lightest shade in the choice of palettes. And this is the bronzer and this is the contour. Now again, you guys can see that the contour is like a shadowy grey colour, so very similar to the Kevyn Aucoin in terms of a cool undertone, whereas the bronzer is warm. In fact, when I look at it side by side, I'm going to look like I'm a superhero. So Victoria Beckham's contour and Wayne Goss's bronzer almost look like the same colour, which is interesting. They are both for sort of the lighter skin tone. Now, if I were to choose between the two brands, it's very hard to say because they're two very different kind of brands. I think with Victoria Beckham, the products are great, but sometimes I think she really puts a lot of thought into her packaging and the story she's trying to tell us with that, and almost like the experience of that luxury brand experience. Whereas with Wayne, I think he's more concerned about making sure that the product talks for itself, if that makes any sense. So I would say that I would use the bronzer in this and the contour in this, but it's a shame because I would rather just have one palette that's just perfect and nails it. Ideally, I would have loved the bronzer for this and the Kevyn Aucoin contour instead. That would have been perfect. So that's pretty much it, guys. I would love to know what you think about the bronzer and what your thoughts are. Are you planning on getting it, or do you have other ideas or second thoughts now as a result of my review? I just quickly wanted to mention that, as per usual, the Victoria Beckham comes in the Victoria Beckham dust bag, which I do love to reuse. They're really, really handy. And lastly, I've said this before in previous Victoria Beckham videos, but I just find that it's a shame that they never give you samples. And it really frustrates me because she's not a cheap brand. It's a luxurious brand and she's always trying to market herself as that. From a business perspective, I think it's really silly that she's not giving out samples, but also for those customers like myself and many, many others who are loyal to Victoria Beckham makeup, I just think that it would have been a really nice sort of way of saying thank you for the purchases, especially, like I said, as it's not cheap. So that's one thing I do always feel a little bit disappointed about with Victoria Beckham Beauty, is that she doesn't provide samples. For example, imagine if she provided us even sachets of her serums, which I know are super duper expensive, but imagine allowing her customers who perhaps don't want to spend that kind of money because there's no guarantees that it will suit their skin, and they try it on, they get to trial it for, you know, a few nights, few days, and they fall in love with it and then make the decision to invest and purchase that product. That is the power of samples. So it's just a shame about that. So I just wanted to throw that in there. I will also link all my other Victoria Beckham reviews down below. If you're a die-hard Victoria Beckham fan, please go check them out and let me know what you think. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you on the next one. Take care. Walking on fire, trying not to bend my feet. I'm tired of fighting. Butterflies in my stomach, butterflies in my chest, heartbeat like a